Making America Great Again actually takes real live, no fooling around swamp draining. Now, for all of my fans and friends and even my enemies, I want to let them know that I grew up on the swamp. And I grew up at the bedside of Howard C. Mason up in the Adirondacks there at Harris Bay. I grew up on the swamp in New York. Donald J. Trump. And for a message for all of your lawyers, William Barr, the head of the FBI, you know, when you want to talk about flipping and daisy chains and, you know, shuffling the deck with all those dirty mortgages, all that money laundering using subprime predatory mortgage schemes and the subprime predatory illegal foreclosure rackets, that's a wonderful way to launder dirty money, is loan a bunch of filthy lucre to innocent, unsuspecting home buyers. And then as soon as they financially stub their toe, you get those dirt bags from Credit Suisse, those dirt bags from Select Portfolio Services to tell them they got to be behind and default in their mortgage payments for 90 days in order to qualify for a mortgage payment reduction, a HAMP, Home Affordability Mortgage Program. To lower their payment, they got to be in default. That's a pretty slick, dirty little trick, Select Portfolio Services. And all the dirty little sons of bitches that pulled it on American families for the last couple of decades. Oh, you got to be 90 days past due before we can reduce your mortgage payment. You got to be in legal default. Ain't that an interesting way of baiting and luring people with filthy, dirty lucre? Laundered money. How much money did you get from the bankster gangsters? Well, it was all dirty. You see, you can't have a deceptive trade practice or a financial fraud unless somebody forks over some dirty money. That's an interesting little sidebar, isn't it, folks? Did you get any money from the bank? Did they loan you any money? Yeah, in their dirty money laundering scam. You know, stated income, 125%, no down payment, multiple loans, and false RESPA statements. That's where it gets interesting in the escrow records and in the RESPA. That's where the shit hits the fan. Sorry, Donald Trump, I hope I didn't offend you. But this is one giant pile of shit. Trey Gowdy, Nelson and Mullins, Baker and Donaldson. And this message is for all of Donald Trump's lawyers, particularly William Barr. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here wearing the James McDougal hat, he grew up on the swamp. That's one thing I know about, and that's swamp draining. Done plenty of it in my day. And yes, Donald Trump, I'm from New York too. Upstate, where the rich mobsters like to go water skiing and snorkeling, and they go camping and trail hiking in the Adirondack Park. You got to look at the bonds. You got to look at the collateralized debt obligations behind Cuomo's Adirondack Park. That's a fascinating waltz through a financial crime scene. I said it right. The collateralized debt obligations for that cancer that ate the heart out of New York. The Adirondack Blue Line. The big land scam. Donald Trump. The biggest land scam in the lower 48. How about that, William Barr? You need to take a real close, hard look into how they screwed a bunch of landowners to take their property over. That would be the New York State Conservation Commission, now known as the Department of Environmental Crimes, the Department of Environmental Confiscation. Take a look at their financing programs around there. We tax everybody full real estate value for every last square inch in the blue line. State parked my ass. It's a big financial scheme. William Barr, Christopher Wray. Let's take a good, long, hard look. Let's put the old Adirondack Park collateralized debt obligations under the microscope. Andrew Cuomo. What a guy thinks he's Scarface. He wants to be Pacino. And all he is a cheap Italian. Well, we know he's Jewish, right? Yeah, exactly. The old Italian Jewish mob from Albany. The Albany Corporation. And if you want to know what I know about the Albany Corporation, start with Andrew Colvin and Verplank, old Verplank Colvin, the lawyers for the Albany Corporation, you know, back in the days when it was owned and run and operated by the Dutch. Yep, I grew up at the bedside of Howard C. Mason, the author of Backward Glances. And guess what, Donald Trump? I've been in the real estate game all my life, too. Built skyscrapers and airports, just to mention a couple little odysseys that I've encountered in my life. So to all of Donald Trump's lawyers and to Judge Clifton L. Corker and all the other federal judges and state judges that are involved in these matters, remember one thing. The only money that these gangster banksters were loaning out was the dirty money, the filthy lucre. Folks, I'm going to leave it right there. Look for all the information. Educate yourself in the links below. And as always, hasta la vista. God bless. And you can bet your sweet you know what, we're definitely coming back.